Arunachal Pradesh, India's easternmost state, is a land where the Himalayas rise majestically, cloaked in emerald forests and veined with countless rivers. This remote and rugged terrain, aptly nicknamed the Land of Dawn-lit Mountains, is home to a remarkable tapestry of biodiversity and indigenous cultures. It is a region where nature's grandeur is on full display, with cascading waterfalls, snow-capped peaks, and valleys echoing with the roar of untamed rivers. Among Arunachal's many natural treasures, its rivers hold immense significance. These waterways are not merely geographical features, but lifelines that sustain the region's diverse ecosystems and human communities. They are the arteries of Arunachal, carrying within their currents the promise of abundant hydropower potential, a potential that has captivated the imagination of policymakers and energy planners for decades. This potential stems from the steep gradients and high rainfall characteristic of the eastern Himalayas, making Arunachal Pradesh a prime location for run-of-the-river hydropower projects. Estimates suggest that the state possesses nearly half of India's total hydropower potential, a staggering figure that has fueled ambitious plans to transform Arunachal into a powerhouse of the nation. However, this quest for energy security is intricately intertwined with complex environmental, social and geopolitical considerations, creating a dilemma that lies at the heart of Arunachal's hydropower aspirations. The allure of Arunachal's hydropower potential is undeniable, holding the promise of illuminating homes, powering industries and propelling economic growth, not only within the state, but across the entire nation. The sheer scale of envisioned projects is staggering, with plans for megadams and cascading projects dotting the tributaries of the Brahmaputra River, each promising to contribute significantly to India's energy grid. Among these ambitious ventures, the Subansiri Lower Hydroelectric Project stands out as one of the largest, poised to generate a massive 2,000 megawatts of electricity upon completion. Further upstream, the Dibang Multipurpose Project, another engineering marvel in the making, aims to harness the waters of the Dibang River, with an intended capacity exceeding 2,800 megawatts, further bolstering India's renewable energy portfolio. Adding to this impressive roster are projects like Italan, projected to generate 3,097 megawatts, and the Tawang 1 and 2 projects in western Arunachal, collectively adding over 1,000 megawatts to the state's energy capacity. These projects, collectively representing billions of dollars in investment and years of planning, are envisioned as key drivers of economic progress, promising jobs, infrastructure development, and revenue generation for both the state and the nation. However, beneath the allure of energy abundance lies a complex web of challenges and concerns. The pursuit of hydropower in Arunachal Pradesh is not merely a technical endeavor, but a multifaceted issue intertwined with the lives and livelihoods of its people, the delicate ecological balance of the Himalayas, and the geopolitical dynamics of the region. The story of hydropower in Arunachal Pradesh is not a new chapter, but rather a continuation of a narrative that stretches back several decades. Early efforts to tap into the region's vast hydropower potential began in the post-independence era, driven by a vision of harnessing nature's power to fuel India's growth. These initial projects, often smaller in scale and localized in impact, were met with mixed responses, laying bare the complexities inherent in damming Arunachal's rivers. One such example is the Ranganadi Hydroelectric Project, commissioned in the late 1990s, which, while contributing to the state's energy capacity, also brought its share of challenges. Issues related to displacement, environmental degradation, and inadequate compensation for affected communities surfaced, highlighting the need for a more nuanced and participatory approach to hydropower development. These early experiences provided valuable lessons, shaping the discourse surrounding hydropower in Arunachal Pradesh. It became increasingly evident that a narrow focus on energy generation without adequate consideration for social and environmental safeguards was not a sustainable path forward. The need for a more holistic approach, one that balanced development aspirations with the rights and concerns of local communities and the imperative to protect Arunachal's fragile ecosystems, gained prominence in policy circles and public discourse. As the state embarks on a new era of hydropower development characterized by megadams and ambitious energy targets, it carries with it the weight of these historical experiences. The challenge lies in learning from past mistakes, incorporating the voices of all stakeholders and charting a path towards responsible hydropower development that benefits both present and future generations. In Arunachal Pradesh, the rivers are not just sources of water and potential energy. They hold profound cultural and spiritual significance for the indigenous communities. These rivers are woven into the very fabric of their traditions, rituals, and daily lives. The proposed hydropower projects, while promising economic benefits, pose a threat to the cultural heritage and spiritual well-being of these communities. Our rivers are sacred to us. They are the veins of our land, carrying the lifeblood of our culture and traditions. The construction of dams disrupts this sacred balance, affecting not only the environment but also our way of life. The concerns of the indigenous communities highlight the need for a development approach that respects and integrates their cultural values and spiritual beliefs. Balancing the demands of modernity with the preservation of ancient traditions is a delicate task requiring sensitivity, dialogue, and mutual respect. We must find a way to develop without destroying what makes us who we are. Our identity is tied to these rivers, and their protection is essential for our future generations. The voices of the indigenous communities remind us that the quest for progress must not come at the cost of cultural and spiritual heritage. As Arunachal Pradesh navigates its hydropower aspirations, it must do so with an understanding of the profound connections between its people, their land, and their rivers. The hydropower projects in Arunachal Pradesh pose significant risks to our environment. The construction and operation of these dams can lead to habitat destruction and fragmentation, which is a serious concern for our rich biodiversity. The environmental impacts are not just limited to the immediate area of the dams. The downstream effects can alter river ecosystems and affect species that rely on these habitats. Exactly. And it's not just about the wildlife. The local communities, who have lived in harmony with nature for generations, are also affected. These projects can disrupt their way of life and their access to natural resources. Balancing the need for renewable energy with the imperative to protect the environment is a complex challenge. The voices of those who understand the ecological stakes are crucial in this dialogue. We must consider sustainable alternatives and ensure that environmental assessments are thorough and transparent. It's about safeguarding our natural heritage for future generations. The conversation around hydropower in Arunachal Pradesh is as much about preserving the environment as it is about harnessing energy. The stakes are high, and the decisions made today will shape the future of this unique region. In the remote, rugged terrain of Arunachal Pradesh, the race to harness the power of its rivers is fierce. The strategic importance of these projects cannot be overstated. They are crucial for regional development and energy security. Yet this rivalry brings with it a complex web of challenges and stakes affecting both local communities and the environment. The dream of development often clashes with the need to preserve nature. We, the youth, envision a future where progress does not come at the cost of our environment. It's about finding that delicate balance. Striking this balance is essential for sustainable growth and the well-being of future generations. As the debate continues, the focus shifts towards more responsible approaches to hydropower. It's vital to consider the ecological impacts. Protecting our biodiversity while pursuing development is not just possible, it's necessary. Responsible development practices can pave the way for a harmonious coexistence between nature and progress. Arunachal Pradesh stands at a crossroads with its future hanging in the balance. We must make informed choices, embracing both hope and the challenges ahead. The path forward is a tapestry woven with the threads of tradition, innovation, and resilience.